Hey everybody, it's Tyler with Gaia Force Gaming, and some of you guys have been asking for this deck profile, so I wanted to just take a second to go through this deck. I did play it, full disclosure, for all of the mono green events, so the Double Typhoon Cup, as well as the Spring Break events, but I won all of the events locally in my area that they've had. So far, I don't think there's any left. There's 6 events total, 2 Typhoon Cups, 4 Spring Break events. This deck has gone undefeated in all of them. I played the same list for all of them, and for what it's worth, not just in a mono green format, but this is the list that I would play in the current format, BT15, ban list, post ban. I think that this list is strong. I think it has a lot of good things about it. It is BloomLord. So, as you know, if you click on this, I've been playing BloomLord since its release in one capacity or another. I've always had it built. I'm a big fan of green. I'm a big fan of the way BloomLord plays. It's not always my top choice to play, just because it is, I don't want to say linear, but it is a deck that it has a lot of very. I have a problem with tunnel vision. And it's really easy to tunnel vision your way out of winning with this deck. So do take that into mind. But if you put in the practice, it is a very rewarding deck with a really fun play style. It's super aggressive, and now it has some control elements as well with some cool cards. So let's stop blabbing and let's talk about the deck list. So starting out, I run 4 Kokomon, and that's the egg. Just when an effect suspends one of your Digimon, draw 1. It's a your turn effect. There's an argument to play less of this, especially in formats with Mirage, just because it will proc your opponent's Mirage, and this is not optional. But I like seeing cards as quickly as possible, as soon as possible. So I really value the card draw. And then I run the 1 Argomon. Like I said, you could go the other way. You could run 4 Argomon, 1 Coco. There are other good green eggs too if you need DP boosts. There's the Tokidori Balmon is pretty good. The new green one from BT16, is that a Wanyanmon or a Narumon? I don't remember. The Leomon egg, it's not bad. If I'm thinking of the right one. If I'm not, whatever. These are mine of choice. I don't really look at other ones. I played Tokidori Balmon maybe once or twice, depending on the format. But I really like the draw from Kokomon. I like the memory gain from Argomon. So that's what I'm sticking with. For my rookies, I do run the Palmon engine. Now, I think no matter what, if you're playing Bloom, you're playing 4 of this Palmon. Search top 4 for Fairy and a Vegetation or Plant. It's great. It hits 2 almost all the time. And then when I speak of the Palmon engine, I also play 4 of the BT14 Palmon. It is the start of main little Ice Wall effect on 1 Digimon, which is nice. It's inheritable, lets you Digivolve for 1 less if you have a green Tamer, also nice. But it gives you more Palmon counts so that you can play the Palmon X, which is on play when Digivolve suspends something. And it's inheritable, gains you memory when you play a green Tamer. So all pretty good. Then to round out the rookie count, this is 11. We go to 13 with just 2 of the Floodgate Pomus. In the current format and most formats, just being able to Floodgate being played by effects, super powerful. Really good against Numemon, really good against Lugamon, really good against so many top decks. Don't even get me started right now. I think Always and Forever, if you're running a plant-based deck, you're going to be playing at least 2 Pomon, just because it's really strong. That's it for rookies. Champions, we play 4 Sunflow, lets you play a card, play a 3k or less on Digivolve by suspending. It does all the things you want it to do. We play 3 of the other Sunflow, which by suspending it, you can Digivolve into a Fairy for a reduction of 2. This comes up a lot because we do have some really hard-hitting Fairies in the top end of the deck. And then we play the 3 Togemon, which lets you suspend a Digimon to play a Tamer with a reduction of 3. So it lets you play 3 cost Mimi for free. Lets you play 4 cost Mimi for 1. Gives you the reason to suspend. And then the inheritables on these 2 are the same as the Palmon, where you evolve for 1 less if you control a green Tamer. Really strong inheritable. Draw power off the Sunflow. We love draw power. That's it, though. I only run the 10 level 4s. Cutting it to 10 was a bit of a hesitation for me. I really liked having 11, maybe even 12 in a deck like this that spams the board. But it's been working out okay. I will say, if you are thinking about dropping something you don't like, because I do have some flex-ish spots, I would probably add the 11th rookie just for the 11th champion for peace of mind over a different tech. But I do really like the little cute text that I run in here. So for Agitar, I think this is like non-negotiable. Agitar is what makes the deck really pop off. It's the level 5 you want to see when you're building in the back. It's the level 5 you want to see normally, period. The other level 5s that really help when you're climbing are the one of Blossom and the one of Cherry. Blossom is limited to 1 for obvious reason, and Cherry is another Digizort target, which could usually evolve for free because you have the Palmon. As a rookie, it'll reduce it by an additional 1. Cherrymon also just a really good control piece because it lets you redirect an attack to a suspended Digimon, which could really mess with your opponent's game plan. And they usually think about redirecting an attack to like a bigger Digimon. They don't think about just the fact that you can chump block, for lack of a better term, with one of your suspended little dudes. So this does come up quite a bit. I do also run 2 Lilymon Ace. Lilymon Ace, at first I was hesitant about running it. I thought it was a pretty big risk reward, but it does come up, even though the effect is pretty limited. It comes up a lot, mostly for it can suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, which could proc a lot of your effects. Like you could proc your Palmon trigger, it could proc Hydramon, stuff like that. With the game moving a little lower to the ground, more aggro style again, it can really just it being 8k is really big too. So if they swing into one of your little 3k champions and you blast into an 8k, it just comes up. I like running 2. I don't think I'd run less than 2. If I were to cut a level 5 at all, it would probably be the Cherrymon over the Ace, but I don't really count the Aces level 5s because there are also games where you just slam this for 4 and go right into the level 6 on top of it after you proc its effects. So one of the big changes, I was pretty apprehensive about it, but I really like the way it's been playing, so I think it works out just fine. I'm down to 3 BloomLord. I still see it enough, at least in the sample size that I've had so far, so I don't hate it. I was really apprehensive about going to 3 from 4 because I always think, if it's the namesake of the deck, you should run 4. I felt that way about Blue Omni, about Red Omni back in BT1. There was this big discussion. I always wanted to see Omnimon, but 3 BloomLord has felt okay because it's not always the thing that wins you the game. It really helps you either get that advantage right away or get in at the end of the game. But normally, what keeps you in the game are the 2 Hydramon and the 2 Quantumon. Quantumon being a huge addition to the deck. Quantumon being a fairy, so it's searchable, and also being able to be reduced with the Sunflow is huge. It gets around almost all protection in the game. It helps you like stun lock your opponent's draws, for lack of a better term, because you could put something on top of their deck. You could see what they're drawing, decide if you want to top or bottom deck it. You just call Digimon with this thing, you give it protection from all the Digimon effects. It's not very often that a Tamer or option will be able to affect it, so I just really think this is a very strong boss lineup. Speaking of boss lineups, a really great game finisher for almost any deck is Quartzmon. This gives you a really good matchup into other more control-y, grindy matchups. This gives you a win button against decks that would normally just shut down your whole strategy. Quartzmon it demands respect, and I think this is the perfect deck for it. I run 2 of it. It's green, so you could HPD it. Quartzmon's great. It's a great level 7. So this is all the Digimon. This is the Digimon lineup. For Tamers, we run 2 of the Memory Mimi and 3 of the Search Mimi. It's really important to run the Tamers, so you have something to play off Togemon. You could go 2 and 2. You could go 1 and 3. If you really want, I think the Tamers add a lot of value to the deck, so I do like running the 5. And there's also another reason, which I'm about to get into, why I run all the Mimis. I run 3 of the agility training, just a generic good reduction, search, consistency booster. I think it's overall really good over the green memory boost. Costing 2 opens up a lot of really good plays. You gotta run 1 HPD. You gotta run it. It's phenomenal. It will single-handedly win you the game almost 8 out of 10 games when you have it and it works out for you. And then I run 1 A New World, which is why I like the high Mimi count, the high Palmon count. This card is a phenomenal extender. It could create so many plays and so many big opportunities. That being said, it is not necessary. I really like it because it is just that little bit of unexpected. But this could be another Digimon of your choice. It could be a Grandisol if you want a removal option. It could be another agility training. It could be whatever, your flavor. You know, if certain decks were to become more and more popular, it could be a merciful mode. I know merciful modes in Japan during the Anubis format were really popular in BloomLord, which makes sense. But yeah, this is the BloomLord deck. I love this deck. I think green is really powerful because of this culmination. I think as far as an archetype goes, I think BloomLord might be the most cohesive in the game right now. I feel like every green card feels like it belongs in Bloom for the most part. I really like this deck. I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels to play. I like the combo potential. I think it's really strong. Its only downside is it has a ton of triggers that are really easy to miss, that are really easy to sequence the wrong way and overlook a potentially game-winning situation. But if you put in the time, the effort, and the practice, this deck is very rewarding, very fun, and it looks pretty good max rarity. I have different versions of these cards. I don't have the event Palmons, but I don't mind the pre-release ones. And Togemon's just came out, so I got to get some of those. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I know this is like the 3rd or 4th BloomLord deck profile I put up, but people do keep asking as the formats go on for updated lists. I know I haven't uploaded a video in a while. It's just been a really busy week. I usually upload like 2 or 3 a week. It's been 1 in the last week. So thank you guys for your patience. Thank you guys for your support. Join the Discord, play in our events. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.